council whispered in horror. The holographic display flickered across the chamber as Ambassador Aliana Chen stepped through the crystalline archway of the Galactic Council Hall, boots scuffed from years of planetary expedition against floors that had witnessed 1,000 species plead their cases over 3 millennia. Today, however, the assembled delegates weren't watching her. Their multifaceted eyes, sensory appendages, and consciousness projections were locked onto the tactical feed streaming from Sector 7. Leo Martinez stood beside the command console, his weathered hands steady despite the chaos unfolding on screen. The former Earth Defense Force commander had seen combat on Mars, Europa, and the asteroid belt, but nothing in his 40 years of service had prepared him for this moment. They're attacking Earth. The whisper came from Council Prime Velsh, her luminescent form dimming with what humans had learned to recognize as genuine fear. Not attacking, Leo corrected, his voice carrying across the amphitheater with military precision. They already attacked. 2 hours ago, the Xinthian war fleet had emerged from hyperspace with the arrogance of conquerors. 5,000 vessels strong, armed with planet crackers and quantum disruptors. They had transmitted their demands across every frequency: immediate surrender of the human homeworld, or total annihilation. The Xinthian Zapix predators from a gravity-heavy world had carved through a dozen civilizations in the past century. Their philosophy was simple: might determined right. Aliana pulled up the tactical display with a gesture, expanding it for all to see. The Xinthian armada expected primitive resistance, perhaps some scattered defense satellites, maybe a few outdated warships. Her dark eyes swept across the council chamber. They forgot who they were dealing with. The footage showed what happened next. Earth's moon had opened like a mechanical flower. Hidden facilities that the council had dismissed as mining operations revealed themselves as something far more terrifying. Thousands of launch tubes spat out a swarm of interceptors so dense they appeared as a silver cloud against the black of space. But these weren't the clumsy rockets of humanity's early space age. Kinetic kill vehicles, Leo narrated, zooming in on the footage. Each one is essentially a titanium rod with a basic guidance system and a fusion drive. No warheads, no complex weapons, just mass and velocity. The Xinthian capital ships had fired first, their disruptors tearing through the first wave of human craft. Energy shields absorbed the attacks, then overloaded, causing ships to burst into brief flowers of fire. But for every human vessel destroyed, 10 more pressed forward. Humans don't build shields like we do, Aliana explained to the horrified council members. We can't generate energy barriers efficiently, so we adapted. Each interceptor costs less than a Xinthian escape pod. We can lose 1,000 and barely notice. The first kinetic projectiles struck the Xinthian shields at 30% light speed. The shields held, barely. Then came the second wave, and the third. The mathematical beauty of human warfare unfolded before the Council's eyes. Overwhelming force through sheer numbers and relentless determination. The Xinthians have been fighting civilized wars, Leo continued, his tone matter-of-fact. Wars with rules, with honor codes, with logical force ratios. Humanity spent 10,000 years fighting itself. We learned how to win when victory seemed impossible. A Xinthian dreadnought exploded on screen, its shields finally collapsing under the sustained assault. Then another. The human swarm adapted in real time, concentrating fire on damaged vessels, exploiting every weakness with ruthless efficiency. They're fleeing, Ambassador Cawthon of the Peaceful Arm gasped, his species having lost 3 colonies to Xinthian aggression just decades before. No, Aliana said softly, pulling up a secondary display. They're trying to flee. Earth's orbital defense platforms had come online, not the obvious ones in geosynchronous orbit. Those were decoys. The real weapons had been hidden in the debris field of a demolished space station, camouflaged among thousands of dead satellites and junk. Now they activated, creating a web of intersecting fire lanes that turned near-Earth space into a killing field. The Xinthian admiral, desperate, had attempted to target Earth itself with planet crackers, weapons designed to shatter a world's crust. The missiles launched, but never reached their targets. Point-defense lasers, operating at wavelengths invisible to most species' eyes, carved them apart with surgical precision. The Council told us we were paranoid, Leo said, and for the first time, emotion crept into his voice. You said our military spending was excessive, that we were preparing for wars that would never come. He gestured at the display where the once mighty Xinthian fleet was being systematically dismantled. We learned a long time ago, hope for peace, but prepare for war. What made the assembled delegates truly understand humanity wasn't the destruction itself, it was what came next. As Xinthian ships tried to retreat through hyperspace, Human vessels didn't pursue with weapons. Instead, they transmitted a message on all frequencies. Aliana played the audio. It was simple, translated into every known language. Surrender now. Medical aid will be provided. POW conventions will be observed. Refuse, and no mercy will be given. You're offering them quarter. Council Prime Velshara asked, confused. After they attempted genocide, we're offering them a choice, Aliana replied. Humans have a saying, war is cruelty. There is no use trying to reform it. The crueler it is, the sooner it will be over, but we also believe in rules, even in war, especially in war. By the third hour, the battle was over. 300 Zynthian vessels had surrendered. The rest had been destroyed or had managed to escape through hyperspace, damaged and demoralized. Earth hadn't deployed a single ground force, hadn't used nuclear weapons, hadn't even activated their heavy battle cruisers. This was just the automated defense grid, Leo explained to the stunned council. Earth's actual military hasn't mobilized yet. The chamber fell silent. Every delegate understood the implication. If humanity's passive defenses could obliterate a fleet that had conquered civilizations, what could they do when actually trying? I came here today not to boast, Aliana said, her voice carrying a weight that made even the ancient council members pay attention, but to make something clear. Earth doesn't want war. We've seen enough of it among ourselves. But we will never again be victims. The Zynthians learned that lesson today. She stepped toward the Council Prime's platform. The question before this council is simple. Do you want humanity as an ally, or do you want to find out what happens when we're your enemy? The vote for Earth's full council membership passed unanimously.